Hello, Jacopo, and friend Turkish girl. I don't remember your name, but welcome. I will explain you about a suggestion of a trip for next week. Well, this is the Google Earth. Here is São Paulo. Here is Rio, and this is the Green Coast. It's a very special part of the country because that's where a mountain chain, thousands of kilometers long, in this part of the coast, the mountain chain meets the sea. So we have a lot of mountains here, and all these islands are top of mountains, and mountains covered with forests and amazing sea with very clear water. In this part, uh, 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 although in between the two giant cities, it's a kind of remote part of the coast because the access is very difficult. So here is Paraty. Paraty is the city. It's 4 hours away from São Paulo. That's direct buses, and Paraty is a jewel of colonial architecture. It was one of the most important colonial cities, and I would suggest to spend at least one day and one night there. And there's some cultural scene as well. There are cultural centers and good bars, and the cachaça paratiana, paratiana. It's a wonderful cachaça. And there are some a puppet theater as well. I think on Mondays and Tuesdays they have, look it up, Teatro de Bonecos in Paraty. It's a very famous. I never saw, but it's very famous. It's 30 years old. So in Paraty we have this peninsula. So look, Jacopo, it's very close. This is the Ilha Grande, and this is the Peninsula of Joatinga. It's almost an island. All this part of the you see, you cannot reach all this part by road. So all these beaches are accessible only by boat. It's so it works like an island. It's almost an island. So well, so let's see another. This is the map of the peninsula. Here we have Paraty, the city, and you can see these all these points in yellow or in red, in white. They are um, ways along the forest or along the beaches. So have to only walking it's uphill, downhill, between the trees, and the complete tour in the peninsula. That tour it takes us, I don't know, maybe 7 days. So we better choose a part of the tour. I'll talk about the places I know. So I will suggest take here in Paraty. We will look for the docks. There are two docks, the touristical docks where there are a lot of boats for touristical rides, and there are the docks of the fishermen. Cais Pesqueiro. Both docks are close to each other and they are close to the bus station. Just ask in the bus station, people offer to go in a cab, but it's not necessary. It's a 10, 15 minutes walk. So go to the fisherman docks. There you have to ask, there's no regular lines. There are fisherman boats, some with wrapped ones with for 6 people, and some bigger ones but very slow. You have to ask for the lanchas, the wrapped ones, and just ask people are there are someone going to the beach you want. So that's how it works. You have to wait some. Maybe you have to if you want to go only if you are lucky enough to find a fisherman that's coming back for his community, he will accept only 2 people and charge 50 reais each. But if the guy is not coming back, so we'll ask you to pay for 6 people. So it will be expensive unless you wait and you are lucky to have another people coming. I know it seems very difficult, but it's not. Actually, it works like this. Everybody does that. to go to all these beaches here. So the worst thing it can happen if you spend 1 day more in Paraty. That's a wonderful city. So the boat. I would suggest to begin your trip in this place. This is the Praia Grande, known as Praia Grande da Cajaíba. Uh, so take a boat around 50 reais, 40 reais each. It's half an hour, right? Crossing this bay that's wonderful. You see the Ilha Grande in the east. In this beach, Praia Grande, it's a dozen houses and camping, so you can camp there. And one big good thing is there is a waterfall. Not big, but it's good to go. The sea here, all these beaches are closed sea, so the water there's no waves. It's very clear, no waves at all. So it's very good. And this part here, it's open sea, so there are waves. Well, in Praia Grande, you can go to the waterfalls and the beaches and maybe spend 1 night there. And you start walking in this direction till Pouso da Cajaíba. Pouso da Cajaíba is the metropolis of the peninsula. Actually, it's maybe 100 houses or more. There are camping sites. There are rooms for rent. There are bars. There are school is small school, but there everyone's works with fishing or with tourism there, and it's maybe a good place to spend the night. So we can from Praia Grande to Pouso da Cajaíba, it's around 3 hours maybe at most, I think. So you can spend some hours in each beach and go to the Pouso. In Pouso, that's where I rent a house in the New Year's Eve. Spend a lot of it's, now it's better. In Pouso, I like this place, and I swim a lot there. In the to the left, from who's looking to the sea, that's a small beach, Praia do Cachorro, very minuscule, very small beach called Praia do Cachorro. You can take a way, how to say, uma trilha, make a trekking of 20 minutes, or you can go swimming. I don't know if you both swim, but it's a 500 meters swimming, and we are around the rocks, and you see if you have swimming glasses, you see a lot of fishes and 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 corals. It's really beautiful. But if you go walking to the Praia do Cachorro, if you don't swim very well, you go walking in the left end of the small beach. There's a lot of rocks, so even if you don't swim well, you can see fishes and all this. Well, Pouso, there are boats, so the water is not that clean all the time, but uh, close to the boats, but it's okay. Well, from Pouso, you can take this yellow trail. In 1 hour, you are in Martins de Sá. Martins de Sá, there only one family living there in one camping site. This is a paradise with open sea. It's open sea with a lot of waves, but it's kind of protected from. You can feel the violence of the waves and be protected because you have to walk 200 meters to be completely immersed, so it's safe. And there's a place to camp and stay a couple of days. Really beautiful. But there's the other way. It's the Praia da Sumaca, Sumaca Beach. In the middle of this trail. This trail is easy. Well, it's uphill, downhill, but we will never got lost in this trail. You can take this way to Praia da Sumaca. There, you have to camp in the nature. There's no camping sites. I haven't been there, but everybody says it's wonderful. So I would suggest to spend 1 night there. Maybe here and then go to Martins de Sá. And there are these places as well. I'm very curious about them. You can, if you are in Sumaca, maybe it's worth it to check. There's a lighthouse here, and there are communities. For example, this Joatinga They are all these places with these small houses. They are autochthonous people communities. They're people that lives from fishing and in places from tourism. But they are very simple people, very open people. It's very good and with the skin very burned by the sun. Well, indeed. So I don't know much about these places, but just ask. In this map, you have all the number, all the trails with the itinerary, the distance, and the difficulty. So this will guide you to choose what to say. Think. Well, once in Martins de Sá, you can either go back to Pouso da Cajiba, where it will be easier to go back to Paraty. You can take a boat here, but it will be expensive. I think it's not worth it because the boat it's that more dangerous because open sea. You have to go around the point. So not just if you have go back to Paraty from here, better 1 hour walking and then from Pouso there will be a lot of boats. But you can go further and there is this Poção. It's a waterfall. I think it's beautiful. Then this Cairo Sul das Pedras is a small village, and I'm very curious about this Cachoeira do Saco Bravo. Look at this picture. It's a waterfall in a pool made with stones close to the sea. This is Martins de Sá. Well, this trail it's heavier. I think it's 15. Let me see, 15, 6.5 kilometers, and it's hard. So it's very uphill, downhill, and maybe 4 or 5 hours. So this is more difficult. In Cachoeira do Saco Bravo, you need to hire a guide because the trail is not that clear. Well, but if you prefer to come here, you arrive to Ponta Negra. It's a small village as well. You can find a room to here. There's another cachoeira, praia, Sono Beach, Praia do Sono. It's wonderful. It's a lot of camping. It's very hippie. And then you arrive in this place. This place you have buses to Paraty. So that's the Peninsula of Joatinga trail. Well, this place, the Saco do Mamanguá, it's like people say it's wonderful. Never been there, but there's a lot of small communities and waterfalls. Well, just ask the fishermen. People will suggest. Okay. Well, that's it. Let me see some. Well, anything you just ask me. Okay. The water is beautiful. The forest is very beautiful. And another thing, if you see in the forecast there is raining in Paraty, it doesn't mean that it's raining in the peninsula because here, it's very exposed to tide to the weather, so the weather can be totally different from Paraty. And I think it's not that bad to be there while raining. It rained while I was there in New Year's Eve, and it's beautiful anyway. And some trails like this Martin de Sá to Ponta Cajaíba, you can do it under the rain. Of course, you have to watch out, but it's possible. And it's beautiful the heavy rain in the forest, and heavy rain in the sea. So I would go there anyway, with rain or without rain. Well, that's it. Let me see. Okay. So, good trip. Why interrupt this? Okay.